Welcome back, everyone, to Three Dorks Plays. Yeah, that's all I got. We're doing some Transformer stuff today. I don't get why Megatron's ability is any useful. Some like hover thing.
I don't know.
These cubes seem terribly outdated.
This entire station was created
sorry.
over 10,000 years ago. Much
Yeah,
of its technology is antiquated and inefficient.
The technology is very odd.
Huh?
Apparently, them as a society existed for more than 10,000 years.
Okay.
I think they get a little weird when you try and make an old toy commercial sound like it has some deep lore.
Yeah. You're being shooted.
And being shooted up from where? Pretty much.
In your bum.
Decepticons cannot be stopped!
What?
Recharging now!
I just thought of Rule 34 for a second. I'm betting there's like Transformers porn somewhere on the internet.
I don't doubt it.
Like, I'm betting at least $5 that there's some cartoon imagery out there of Optimus Prime just absolutely getting fucking railed by Megatron.
I'm sure there is. We're talking about the internet.
Yeah. Sorry, I know that was like, that's completely off topic, but it just like, because I know the internet exists, that's always like a present thing in my head now.
Sending the data
It's like, I wonder if there's porn of this game out there somewhere.
You know, just your reaction to everything. You see something new. I wonder if there's porn of this.
Honestly,
I know
in the 21st century, as a 27-year-old, yeah.
and that you will be
It is weird because I'm not like
dark energon.
a consumer of that, really.
Cybertron to its former glory.
It's the internet. You just come to expect certain things.
Yeah. Like, I don't participate in that part of the internet. And by participate, I mean, like, I don't regularly consume it or anything. It's just more, like, because the internet exists now, it's like, there's porn of everything.
Yeah. It's pretty much a certainty.
Yeah.
What?
I just came up with an alternate version of the Transformers song thing. Transformers, robots into guys.
I mean, there are female Transformers.
What?
Yeah.
No, the fuck there's not. There's no way.
There is.
Please tell me they don't have robot titties.
No.
They don't have robot titties?
No.
Okay, good. Thank God. That's something that always, like, really bothers me in a lot of media now. Where it's like, they feel the need to give, like, the female version of stuff, like, feminine hips. And, like, some sort of indication that there's boobs. Like, the fucking, like, Pokemon Go thing when I was playing earlier. And fucking Nidoqueen has, like, boobs.
Excellent. Decepticons. Lock
Is that truly necessary to give a dinosaur titties?
No, they tend... Pokemon especially tends to give strictly female Pokemon some things. Like, there's another one called Salazzle.
Yeah.
It kind of designed like a curvaceous lizard.
Yeah, see, that's weird. And then there's Gardevoir. The most over-sexualized Pokemon on the internet.
I don't know if Gardevoir or Lopunny is now.
I think it's still Gardevoir. Guys, comment down below.
Did it?
Apparently our son is doing more crimes upstairs.
He's always doing crimes.
Yep.
It's just a fact about Goose.
Transport devices for dark energon. The ancients constructed special pods they could launch to any parts of Cybertron.
I forget how to use grenades.
Typically you take a pin out and you throw it.
I know, I mean, like with this control setup. The circle? Oh, it is circle, okay. Coward hiding behind his shield. Here, no more shield.
Megatron, according to my scans, the manufacturing plant is directly below your floor.
There's no exhaust coming from that vent. We can blast through to make an entrance.
Are you concerned at all driving into the belly of a furnace?
Aren't you concerned that I might tire of your pointless chatter?
Yeah, Megatron... He's not afraid to kill anyone.
Huh? I
Oh.
didn't hear what you just said.
Megatron...
Those hands will split you in two.
I was just saying how they were making some banter, and Megatron's like, "Aren't you concerned how what I'm going to do to you if you don't do it?" It's like, yeah, Megatron just murders.
I mean, they're machines. They don't, like, have feelings.
But they do. They're living machines. What?
Well, they would have had to have been programmed that way, though.
They have complete autonomy. They're
Yeah, they're artificial intelligence, but they still would have had to have
It's
been...
not artificial in their case, though. Because they weren't created... No organic creature created the Transformers.
I didn't know that.
Because there's a ridiculous amount of lore with this series in recent years. They were created by their god Primus, who was a giant Transformer.
And who created Primus?
No one, he's a god of light, basically. He's a god of light and love, and not love. Light
love.
and life. It wasn't created by anybody.
If it's a machine, it would have absolutely have to have been created by something. You can't just have machines in the wild. It's not how biology works.
It's not how biology on this planet works.
Machines don't just happen, though.
Years old. Soundwave reactivated it upon my orders. I have very special plans.
Yeah, that's why they were created by a god, not by...
Snipers on the bridge, Megatron! Crush them!
No, but the initial machine god would have had to have been created by something.
Nope.
Yes.
No.
Machines can't make themselves, Ryan.
In this world, they can. Because it's also a living metal. That's why they're able to transform. The metal can reconfigure itself.
Well, that doesn't follow the laws of chemistry, so I choose not to believe in the Transformers. Except for Optimus Prime. He's the only real one.
Even though Optimus Prime, by all accounts now, is a reincarnation of some ancient entity. Yeah, it's another aspect of Transformers that was more retroactive, but taken into account with more recent stories, is this concept of the original 13 Primes, which were like the first...
That was in that movie, right? The Primes?
Kinda.
Yeah.
But it was a bastardized version of
Well,
it.
yeah. Those movies in general are bastardization, but...
Yeah, like the concept of the 13 Primes is they were like the first 13 Transformers Primus created.
Okay,
And
how
they
do they reproduce?
Generally they don't. It's an asexual, or, well, they've never really gone into how new Transformers come to be. Their sparks appear. Their bodies are considered biological by their standpoint. Like, some Transformers are able to change into 2 alternate modes, and it's considered a genetic trait.
Okay.
Charging now!
It's still Megatron.
Yeah.
Megatron.
There are some stories that even try to make Megatron not the cartoonishly evil bastard that he is. There are some there are some stories that imply the Decepticon uprising. Well, it's actually an equal rights kind of riot. Because the Decepticons, in some stories, this is a comic book thing.
Yeah.
Were considered like the underclass, low-class citizens, or were comprised of low-class citizens who felt they wanted to be treated more fairly.
I'm confused by that though, because they're all like fucking machines.
Yes, they're machines with personality. They're machines that can think and feel. But it's not artificial if it wasn't created.
But it was technically created by the god.
Okay, by that logic and going off of Christianity, then humans have artificial intelligence.
Exactly.
Once I have enough,
How much am I annoying you right now?
I will use these to transport it to Cybertron. The Autobot supplies will be totally.
I thought someone was going to jump out at me there.
I tire of these futile attempts to resist me. Dark Energon will be mine.
Okay, Megatron, whatever you say.
Think you can control the Dark Energon, what no one else has ever been able to.
Only the strong are worthy of such a weapon barricade. I am the strongest. And do
Whatever
not
you say,
question me.
Megatron.
Cybertron.
Flyers inbound!
Jet Boys.
Pew. Boss fight time.
No. They're standard enemies.
Are there boss fights in this?
There's a handful. Yeah, there's one at the end of each of the campaigns. But besides that,
How many campaigns are there?
just 2. The Autobots and the Decepticons.
Alright. Do you get to play as Optimus Prime in the Autobots one?
For a few missions, yeah.
Yes.
Actually, I think all of them but one, actually.
But no weapon I know of could have done this. I don't care what did it. Find a way.
Do you think it's the same for Megatron? You can play as him, all of them except the flight mission.
The entire area lies in shambles.
Which is something I appreciate, because it gives a bit more diversity with movement options.
Yeah.
But because of that, they have to make all the playable characters for that mission flight characters.
Ah.
Megatron's a tank, he can't fly.
But I mean, okay, I'm not trying to shit on the stuff. I'm genuinely just trying to like understand, because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. If their biology, their shape is constantly able to change, then why can't he fly?
I mean,
Can he not just turn himself into a fucking fighter jet or something?
Well, yeah, well, part of it, yeah, and unfortunately, you have to remember it's cynical marketing as well. Like, they always try and sell toys. But they have, like, a permanent robot mode, which is, like, their real body. and in a form they can transform into. It's stated in like comic books and that they can scan a new alternate mode, but it's not something I guess it's also just a preference thing with them.
Yeah.
I think in this case a tank fits Megatron because he's all about power. Not many more vehicles that are much more powerful than a tank.
Yeah. No, it's just, I was just like genuinely confused because it's like I don't understand how this works. I guess it's just like confusing for me that there's like this concept of like a machine that's alive and that has like biological capabilities and stuff. Because like, at least in a lot of the
Again,
media stuff that I consume.
Again, biology by their standpoint.
Well, yeah. I'm just saying like at least
Oh fuck, I just clipped through the floor there.
Yeah. But in any case, in a lot of the stuff that I consume, there's like explanations for where things come from. Like, you know, I'll use Vampire Diaries as an example, even though I like barely finished that show because it's just like the ending was just trash. But in any case, so in that show there was, you know, the original vampires, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were created to essentially like help protect their village from werewolves. And the reason that like blood is like what they have to feed on and what all vampires have to feed on, and it's how they, you know, stay alive and stuff, is because blood is like a life force, right?
Okay.
Your blood is your life force. If you don't have any blood, then you're not alive, kind of thing. And it's like, there's like explanations of how everything works. Like,
okay.
biologically. And I guess it's just like confusing for me because I don't understand the biology of Transformers.
Well, there's some explanation from what I've gathered. I don't read a lot of their comic books. I'm more just going secondhand knowledge on a lot of this.
Yeah.
But like they do try and explain a few things. Like the original 13 primes are like demigods, and a lot of things about Transformers originate from them as well.
Okay.
So like the ability to transform is because one of the primes, I think his name was Amalgamous Prime, was the only of the 13 primes that could initially transform.
Okay.
And Amalgamous Prime could actually transform into anything.
So was Optimus Prime then one of the original primes?
In more recent stuff, yes, he is like a reincarnated version of the Forgotten Prime, I think.
Okay.
So he's like a reincarnated demigod.
Oh, neat.
Meanwhile, Megatron is not. Even though there's a prime called Megatronus, but it's not Megatron. It's like the origin of like darkness on Cybertron.
Okay.
And there's other ones like I think there's another one that tries to explain like why some Transformers have like beast-themed alternate modes, because there was a prime who was a beast. I think it was like a big dragon.
Neat.
Even one of the original primes was a female, and she was like the forge of all of the of Cybertronian weapons.
Huh. Okay, so...
And Energon is considered to be the lifeblood of Primus. So it powers everything on Cybertron because it's the blood of the god that gave them all life.
Okay, so, out of curiosity, then... Do Transformers have, like, a life cycle? Like, do they die? Like, can they get old and die kind of thing?
There are old. Well, I can't say for there are in a lot of sources there are old Transformers. Even hell, there's even one of the original Primes that's still alive that looks absolutely ancient, named Alpha Trion,
Okay.
and he looks like an old man. But and apparently, like again, more of a comic book thing. But they show him when he was younger, and he actually looks younger. But I don't know if Transformers can die of natural causes, or if only through the depletion of their spark, which is basically their soul, can they die.
So is the spark then like a finite resource, or?
No, every Transformer has a spark, and they just have it from birth.
No, that's what I mean. That's not what I mean. I mean, it's more like, is it like a finite power source kind of thing?
Again, Alpha Trion is millennia years old, and many millennia, and his spark is still alive. Well, granted, he is a demigod, but I don't know, honestly.
Millennia, you mean like millions of years, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm just trying to understand. I'm sorry if I'm asking so many questions. I literally don't understand how this works.
I can't really answer all the questions. I just know that in more recent iterations of the franchise, they have tried to give more of a complexity. Like, they've tried to step away from this being just a kid's toy product, basically.
Yeah.
The comic book writers and cartoon writers want to try and give this world more actual depth to it. But if we would like, we can continue this conversation next time on Three Dorks Plays.
Autobots, roll out.
We're playing the Decepticons.
Shh.